and welcome. I'm Micah, the cosplayer seamstress. Today I will be sewing the sleeves for the medieval poison ivy costume. But before that, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. The materials I will need for this are black thread, the green satin fabric, the green mesh fabric, the elastic, the shank buttons, the pattern with instructions, scissors, both fabric and paper, a handheld needle, the sewing machine, and the dress from last week. If you would like to know where I got the pattern, fabric, and buttons, and how much they cost, check out the Medieval Poison Ivy Patterns and Plans video. The first step is to cut out the pattern paper. To figure out which pieces I will need, I will reference the pattern. I will need pieces 14, 15, 16, and 17 for the sleeves. Once I have determined which pattern pieces I need, I will cut them out using the paper scissors. Remember to never use fabric scissors on paper. After I cut the pattern paper, I will use those pieces to cut out the fabric. You can use the cutting layouts provided in the pattern, or you can make your own layouts as long as you follow the instructions on the pattern paper. For example, if you need to cut something on a fold, you need to cut that on a fold, or if you need to cut two, make sure to cut two. I will be creating my own layouts as I tend to run out of fabric if I don't. I will also need to remember to cut notches here as well. I mark my dots with fabric chalk later. I also need to remember to cut out the mesh fabric. Next, I will set up the machine. If you're not sure how to make a bobbin match your thread or how to thread the machine or bobbin, check out my sewing machine walkthrough video. I will be using mainly black thread on this part, which I know does not match the fabric. I also know that goes against trying to match your thread to the fabric. In this case, I could not find a good thread to match the fabric, and the black will look nice on the green fabric, so I'm going to do it this way this time. Now I will begin following the instructions. Please know I will not always follow the directions, and that is okay. I will begin at step 22 as steps 17 through 21 were for the other design. To start, I will pin the mesh fabric to the satin fabric with the wrong sides together, doing it 4 times as there are 4 pieces. Then I will stitch these together 1/8 inch from the raw edge. This is step 22, and I did it 4 times. Next, I will pin the sleeve front to the back, matching the notches with the contrast sides together. Then I will sew these together at an 3/8 inch. After that, I will trim the seams down to an 1/8 inch. This is step 23, and I did it twice. Next, I will fold the fabric with the right sides together along the stitching and press this. Then I will sew 1/4 inch from the fold, encasing the first seam. I will then press this seam towards the back of the sleeve. I did not press it flat as the instructions said, as it was just not working for me. This is step 24. The next step really confused me. To start, I will press the bottom of the sleeve up 5/8 inch, but not keep this folded as it was just for the corners. Then I will press the sides in 5/8 inch. Then I will turn the corner in and trim it to 1/4 inch so it's not bulky later. After that, I will fold the pressed edge on the sides into the crease line. After all that, I will sew it as close to that inner edge as I possibly can. I did not press this again as the instructions said because it just doesn't work for me in this case. This is step 25, and I did it twice. Now I will make the casing for the elastic. I will press up the raw edge 3/8 inch, which is a little more than the pattern says, as I was afraid of not having enough room for the elastic if I sewed it according to the pattern. Then I will sew as close to the inner pressed edge as I can, leaving the ends open. This is step 26, and I did it twice. Next, I will cut the elastic the length of the guide and attach it to a safety pin at one end. Then I will push and pull the elastic through the end of the sleeves, making sure that I still have some at the end. Then I will sew the ends together. If there is any excess, I will trim that away and then hide the sewn elastic and pull the fabric over as best I can. This is step 27, and I did it twice. Next, I will sew one of the shank buttons over the opening to hide it. This is step 28. I also did it twice. Then, with the sleeves right side out and the dress inside out, I will pin the sleeve to the armhole. I will then hand baste this together. If you do not know how to baste stitch, check out my short tutorial on my channel. Next, I will sew this on the machine. After that, I will sew it again 1/8 inch from the previous stitching. This is step 29, and I did it twice. Next, I will press under 3/8 inch on the unnotched side of piece 16. I will then sew this in place. After that, I will trim the seam so that it is not bulky later. This is step 30, and I did it twice. Next, I will turn the facing to the inside of the bodice. Then I will slip stitch this down. A slip stitch is a kind of stitch that makes it seem as though no sewing has been done. This is step 31. I will have to do this step twice again as there are 2 sleeves. Congratulations! You now have a lovely dress with sleeves. Here's what the dress looks like on the dress form. If you would like to know how I made the bodice or skirt, check out the Medieval Poison Ivy playlist on my channel. Now that you have the sleeves, you are ready for the collar, trim, and hem. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. See you on the next project.